Time now for Sid Cixero. This is where I get 60 seconds to talk. Start the clock, please. Here's what's on my mind this morning. Tip of the cap to Patrick Mahomes. Just won his second Super Bowl. Just won his second Super Bowl MVP. Just won his second NFL MVP award. And he's 27 years old. He's great, as the kids say. Already a Hall of Fame talent. There's no disputing it. Here's what his head coach, Andy Reid, had to say about him following Sunday's Super Bowl win by Kansas City.
He strives to be the greatest. I mean, without saying anything, that's the way he works. I mean, he wants to be the greatest player ever. That's what he wants to do. And that's the way he goes about his business. And he does it humbly. You know, I mean, there's no bragging. He could stand up here and give you these stats that are incredible that he's had, but he's never going to do that. That's just not him.
He wants to be the greatest player ever, quote, end quote, from his own head coach. He might get there one day. Oh, by the way, this past year, he basically did it all in the last 2.5 games with a high ankle sprain. There's that, too. He's made of titanium. Patrick Mahomes, JD Bunkis from the JD Bunkis podcast, Sportsnet 590, The Fan, 9 to 11 every day. Is hyperbole possible with this story, JD? Like, is it possible to overtalk Mahomes at this point?
Not really. I think yesterday I said it's one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen by an athlete with an injury. Like, I think you got to put it right there as his flu game. You got to put it right there as, one of the, like his Tiger Woods 2008 at the U.S. Open. That was spectacular. I thought that he was going to be out of the game. His team was down 10 points. His team was getting completely outplayed. And how does he respond? He comes out in the second half. He probably takes a little bit of shot to the leg, and he throws 13 to 14 passes for completions, scores a bunch of touchdowns, and that's every single drive of the game. So, yeah, what we're seeing here is true greatness. But, Sid, I got to tell you that there's a small part of me that almost resents it because with all the LeBron versus Michael Jordan debates that I've had to have and witness over the last, 5 years, now all I can think of watching this is how basically the rest of my life is going to be just spent debating Mahomes versus Brady.
Well, okay, let's dive right into that. Because now that the Messi-Ronaldo thing is gone, we need debates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's go. Brady's sitting on the 7. Patrick Mahomes at 27 years of age, 2. And for people at home, we need to lay out the context here, JD. Patrick Mahomes lost his best wide receiver this season. Tyreek Hill left. Mahomes was better. It's the Brady vibes where the roster changes, guys come in, cheaper, expensive guys go out, and he doesn't miss a beat. It's that level of greatness. Now, Andy Reid, the gentleman you saw there in the clip, he deserves a lot of credit for this too, obviously, and a lot of people on that coaching staff. But just the movement in the roster is scary to me.
I completely agree. I actually think that Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver in all of football. Like that's just my personal opinion, but you look at the things that he can do. And remember, like the Chiefs didn't have that in this game. They did not have a real outside wide receiver presence. It was some guys on the inside. It was a little bit of a running game. It was quick passes. It was Travis Kelce. But outside of that, this was a quarterback who was playing with limitations. He was also a quarterback who was playing against a defensive line that had 15 more sacks than any other team in football. Guess how many he took? 0. He took 0 sacks. So, yeah, if we're going to end up doing the all-time debate, I think it's probably too early for that. I think that, in my opinion, Brady will probably always have the hammer, having actually beat him head-to-head. Like, if Jordan and LeBron played in a series and Jordan beat him, I don't know how we'd ever be able to do the debate. But if we're talking about, most talented guys, and you were going to ask people, hey, you could take one guy and put him on any team, I think you already have a pretty strong case saying that guy is Patrick Mahomes.
100%. And this is already a Hall of Fame. We can't say this enough. This is a Hall of Fame resume already. And this is not a guy who started right away in the National Football League. We got a minute, JD. What threatens the run at Brady for Mahomes? If you look at one thing, I mean, it could be the salary cap, it could be a lot of things in the NFL, it could be injuries, obviously. What are you most worried about?
Joe Burrow.
Because Joe Burrow's coming.
Joe Burrow is there. The other best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, is sitting right there. And also, I'll give a little shout out to the Bills. I think that's
no, you don't have to. They're frauds right now. Yeah. You don't have to. Honestly, you don't have to. It's fine. Win a big game. Sorry.
I think that Joe Burrow, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, might also be extremely special. And I think that he, as a foil, might be able to steal a couple of those rings from Patrick Mahomes. That's my biggest concern.
I love the take. There's plenty of them. I love JD Bunkis podcast, Sportsnet 590, The Fan, 9 to 11 every day. JD, appreciate it, man. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me, man.
Good stuff. All right.